Why did
How
your
are the dogs, by the way?
They're adorable. They are both.
You said grooming? Is that what you're doing?
They're about 9 pounds apiece.
These are new dogs.
Yeah,
yes, they're new
Oh,
little rescues.
Because I'm used to the gigantic, like,
I know.
cloud-shaped dogs, and I
Yes.
was like, that's got to be a heck of a job grooming one of those guys.
Yes. This is the girlfriend moved in, and she has allergies and asthma. So these are little hypoallergenic things.
Okay.
That are Okay.
Yeah.
So why did your parents spell it Trae? Just out of curiosity.
They just thought it was cool, I guess. I don't know. Now, people ask me, like, in California, sometimes people see the name spelled out, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a cool name. What's the origin of that, or the heritage of that, or whatever?" And I'm like, it's white trash. I don't know if you're familiar with white trash naming conventions, but yeah, I mean, I say that as a joke because it's not really based on anything. But fun fact, the only other TRAE trays that I'm aware of or have ever been aware of are all black guys. There's a couple of athletes like Trae Young for the Atlanta Falcons, R&B singer, Trae the Truth, which that was going to be my name, but he beat me to it. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much the only time you'll find the AE.
Yeah. Yes,
I don't know.
Travis, yes.
If it makes you feel any better, my mom spelt my middle name Duffy wrong on my birth certificate. My dad's is Duffie, which I'm assuming his Oklahoma family spelt wrong, and my mom tried to correct it to Duffy.
Yeah. Now they're getting wild with it now. Like my wife has a friend from high school who had a baby that she named Phoenix, right? But she spelled Phoenix FHENIX or whatever, and it's like, if you have the F, you don't need the H. The H is only to make the F out of the P. Am I making sense?
Yes.
You got the F, you don't need the H.
I'm still struck by that any human is named Duffy, but okay.
That's my middle name.
Well, that's still your name.
Something new I
Runs
didn't
in
know.
the family.
Okay. Okay. I mentioned, we have a statement from the bassinet of the 45th president. Hooray! Trae, remember when we used to have presidents that just, they finished and then they just shut up and they went away, and then we did never have to talk about them again? And this guy will never.
That used to be like their number one thing that they looked forward to, and I don't blame them. I feel like if you do that job, disappear after. I mean, I know that's what Obama did because it bummed everybody out. It made everybody miss him more, you know what I mean? Because he just vanished, and you just every now and then see pictures of him jet skiing or whatever.
You're like,
while you're all mad, you're like, oh, this is a bummer. But yeah, no, not Trump. They tried to force him into a cave, like Twitter, and trying to get him off the internet, and you just can't. You can't do it.
You can't. Yeah. This is just to update you. This is just okay. This would be the statement. Bill Maher has been badly hurt, not only for his poor ratings on HBO, but for his epic failure on fake news CNN. He is mortally wounded, but he's always proven himself to be a survivor. Will be interesting to see what happens to this shell of a man who's worth the globalist club for. Well, this is just a different subject now. The globalist club for no growth, that made more progress under Trump than I have in 5 years. Koch brothers are the perverts at the failed and contaminated Lincoln projects. Answer: they're all bad China-loving globalists who are destroying our country. We're not done. I will never call Ron de-sanctimonious Meatball Ron, as the fake news is insisting. I will, though. Fox-killing lightweight Paul Ryan is revered by him. Low-energy Jeb Bush is his hero and always at his side. His beaches and state were closed for long periods of time. His testing for the China virus didn't work out too well, and his loyalty skills are really weak. It would be totally inappropriate to use the word meatball as a moniker for Ron. That guy was in all the law. That's a bunch of interconnected, not so connected thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was hard for me to. But I will say, and I'm, don't get me wrong, these should be like famous last words. This could end up going very poorly. But part of me is kind of like morbidly fascinated with watching Trump and the rest of the GOP kind of tee off on each other, in the run up to the election. Yes. Because the things he would say about people who had already came over to his side, like Ted Cruz or whatever, he just call their wives dog ugly, and they're like, we're on your team, imagine what he's gonna say about some of the as it gets split more down the middle, because obviously the GOP, they don't want, they're done with him too, or would like to be, but he's not going to go away.
Yeah.
And as that all unfolds, I think it's going to be pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious
Oh,
about how it's going to go down.
Yeah, this story. Trump and his close aides are digging up dirt on Ron DeSantis and have no qualms about using it whatsoever if they find it will keep the Florida conservative from jumping into the race for 2024. Yeah. The former president was talked into forming an alliance with DeSantis by his former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, as a marriage of convenience. Oh, that ZZ Top looking mother. Yeah. That guy that went to prison for the other thing. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I always call it a big bag of rats. Fight, fight, fight. You're all equally awful. But that's already, it's good. We just have to sit back, right?
I mean, you'd hope so. That's what I'm, kind of thinking and counting on. Because, I mean, you said, they won't hesitate to use it. You know that's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to, he can't be reined in or anything, I don't think. I mean, it's like Lindsey Graham said all the way in 2016, it's like if we let him in the door, he's going to tear the whole thing down, or however he put it. And like, it's taken years and it's still not a completed process, but like that's still playing itself out, I think, and it's about to really kick up a few notches as we get closer to the next election.
Right, and now it's got to be meaner even than the last one, right? Like when Nikki Haley jumped in. Remember I said, did he call her a whore yet? Has she declared for like 30 seconds? Has he called her a whore or something?
Not
racist yet?
Not yet.
He will. Yeah, no, he will.
It'll happen.
Karen in Oakland, you are on with Trae Crowder. Hey, Karen.
Hey, hi. Big fan of yours, Trae. Give a lot of Jim Varney vibes. I'd like to know what do you think of these comedians that blew up either recently or a long time ago. Nate Bargatze from Jackson, James Austin Johnson from Nashville, and old-timer Henry Cho of Knoxville. Thank you.
Oh, I guess he'll take his answer off air.
Those are some good pulls there, Karen. You must be a heck of a comedy fan. Because obviously Nate is huge. Those guys are all great. I'm just saying the fact they're all from Tennessee, and you had that on hand. I love all those dudes. I met James only once at a comedy festival a few years back, but we immediately hit it off and got along great.
I thought it was a joke like Jewish sports legends, like the book. I don't know. I was
right.
Oh, I see.
The pamphlet.
Comedians from Tennessee. Yeah. I thought you were the only one. I didn't know.
And Nate, anytime I see Nate, it's always, hey buddy, how's it going? What's up? Type of thing. And I think he's one of the best comics currently doing it. And Henry Cho used to always come. I started at this club in Knoxville, where he's from, called Side Splitters, and we go to the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga, and he was like a staple at both of those places, and also very funny. So like I said, I don't know if you had that. If you just know that, do you just know where all comics are from, or what? It's wild that somebody from Oakland was like, I'm going to hit him with 3 Tennessee comics right now and see what his reaction is to it. So I'm impressed by that. But, I love all 3 of those dudes.
Nicely played, sir. Lori in Santa Cruz, you're on with Trae. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Stephanie. I'm just so pleased with your show today, and your liberal redneck is amusing. Very good show. Thank you for delivering Donald Trump's announcements from the bassinet in your voice.
Thank you.
Like always. And Travis is just doing such a wonderful job on researching. But
yes,
I have a question about Nikki Haley. How in the heck can she run for president if she is not even admitting she's born in America? I went to her website, and they call her an Indian American, I think, and do not say anywhere in there where she was born.
She was born in South Carolina to immigrant parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do not say that even on their website.
They don't have to say it on the website for something
no,
official. Yeah.
We're not birthers on our side, but we love you, Laura.
I believe her when she says she was born in South Carolina.
Yes, unlike other right-wing racists, we're just going to take you at your word.
If she says there's a hospital, I might have questions, but I don't know.
All right, Kevin in D.C., you're on with Trae. Hey, Kev.
Good morning, everybody. Hey. And to my nerds out there, saw the Ant-Man and Wasp movie this weekend. I was dressed like a mummy, but so what?
Wow.
And
Travis just gave you the black power symbol for some reason for that nerd.
Kang rules.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes. And Kang was black, and he did a great job. But anyway, the reason I'm calling, liberal, you mentioned that there are a bunch of people, and yes, that are so tribal, whatever word you use.
I love you call him liberal, much like I called Rude Pundit rude.
Yeah.
Hey, liberal.
But yes, they are so brainwashed now that nothing can penetrate. So what I would do though, repetition. They're gone, but the everyone else and the in-betweeners and so on, whatever you want to call them, independents. Repetition works, and I wish once again, number one, that rich people, just like the candidates did, the Democratic candidates, they did so many ads for themselves that you even couldn't disrupt it online. You know, they fixed it so you couldn't skip it. Do it over and over and over again, so people know about the Fox Noise host, for instance, blatantly being caught lying, knowing that you know they were lying about the election not being real, and secondly, the Biden thing. I'm so tired of the disingenuous gaslighting. That man is clearly has his faculties. I guess they're doing it because they know he's effective and they have to do this crap. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. They see him as a threat.
Yeah. Trae, it is really extraordinary to me that it's not just the right wing. The mainstream media seems to find every opportunity to whatever Biden does, Biden bad. Biden bad, Biden old, Biden, like whatever is the negative headline.
Well, I think just as a general rule, it's like being positive about stuff doesn't like do as much numbers or whatever, like in their game, you know, the old cliche, if it bleeds, it leads or whatever. Yeah. It's like being mad about stuff is just way more profitable, I think. But also, like with CNN, they had like that change in ownership, right? Or, you know, like in the past year or so, something like that. Like they're probably all drifting, you know, further in one direction. But I mean, muckraking is the name of the game a lot of times, and that's not anything new.
Yeah. Well, and it
is worse though.
I have a curious question. I was just thinking because they're drifting, particularly Ron DeSantis and the like. I mean, that is fascism, what they are engaging in, and we have to start calling it out. I was curious. We did the Sexy Liberal comedy tour. First of all, it's a joke, but also we were joking about we're taking that word back, right? Where the right wing tried to make liberal a dirty word, and I'm just curious why you went with liberal redneck, because that is a trigger word, isn't it, in red states, the word liberal.
I mean, I picked two trigger words, which I guess is sort of kind of the whole point. I didn't really put that much thought into it, and I'm not just saying that. It was like I would self-identify as a liberal, and I know there's like differences. Are you liberal? Are you progressive? Are you leftist? Are you what? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not that. I'm not the other thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just on the left side of most things, wherever that puts me on the naming spectrum. But I would self-identify as a liberal. I have a super redneck background and all that. I was just like, well, yeah. I didn't focus group it or nothing like that. It just sort of like
right. No, we did too.
What I was doing, you know, so I just went with it.
Yeah. I remember being on Hannity once, like a long time ago, it was radio. And he's like, are you a liberal? And I was like, yeah. Like, if you read what JFK, you know, how he defined liberal, I'm like, yes, I'm that. And we have to, like, you know, stop being scared of them and going, oh, progressive or some other word that's not, you know, what it is. And that's why I loved what you did. I love that you just said, you know, I'm a liberal redneck.
Well, a lot of times I find that, like, people like major leftists or people further out on the left wing sometimes were like, they don't want to be called that because they're like, no, I'm more hardcore or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, I don't care as long as you're not, as long as you're clear that I'm the opposite of a right wing conservative, right? By this country's standard, then I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, you got it. That's me.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.